right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me out there? Hello, my friends. Hello, my family. I hope you guys are having a great week. So, today we are talking a bit more about how is it that we can handle breaking up with a friend, whether they've been a jerk or whether they've made it really hard and they seemingly are very nice and they seemingly are a good friend, but it's just not working out. It's just not a good fit. They're not the healthiest of people. They are not showing up. They're not actually being what you think a good friend should be. So then we get to take a look at, how do we make that change? How can we take a look and see, well, what is a good friend then? And this is what we're going to be talking about today. And I want you to know straight out from the very beginning that there are many things that we're unaware of. There are many things that we are just going through life on automatic pilot. And so when these things happen for you, it's not your fault. It's not that you're a bad person. It's not that your friend is a bad person. It's that whatever is going on, they're not able to be that friend. It may be that they don't know how to be a good friend. It may be that they're having a hard time. It may be that they're a bit of a jerk, but you thought they were a good friend. So it just depends on what's going on. And people are usually a jerk for a reason too. It's not like they're just a jerk to be a jerk. Usually it's because they've got something going on, don't know how to be a good friend, don't know how to say what they're thinking. They're usually kind of angry about things or snappy about things. So I want you to really get the idea that this is for you to grow and learn from, not to beat yourself up, not to think that you've totally screwed up and that there's something wrong with you or any of that. Okay. It's important that you do not use this experience or any experience in your life for that matter to use it to hurt yourself, to blame yourself, to do anything that is going to put you feeling or thinking poorly about yourself, because that's not cool, right? You don't deserve that. Why would you treat anybody like that, including yourself? And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Because the biggest thing that comes up with this is it makes it even harder if you are telling yourself all these negative things and believing all these negative things, and that beat up process and should have, and yeah, I can't believe it, and what's wrong with me, and what's wrong with them, and I can't trust anybody, and people are always going to hurt me, and I'm a trusting person, and why does this always happen to me? Things like that will make the problem way worse. So first of all, and so some of you have heard this before, and so you can share what it is that you've learned before so others can learn from you. So number one, you're going to take a look at what you've missed. And the way that you're going to do that is by taking a look at boundaries and then taking a look at red flags. So these are two different activities that I'm going to share with you that you can begin to practice. Now, sometimes they're a little difficult to do on your own because there's that, you've probably heard this before, you know what you know, and then you know what you don't know. But there's stuff that you don't know it. So it's not even here. You can't even see it. You're not aware of it. You can't pay attention to it until you have somebody kind of in your face watching what you do, calling it out. Much like a coach out on the field when they're watching a player play, the player can't see that their shoulder is like this, right? The player can't see that when they think they're going straight, but they're a little bit turned. Or when they're going to run, they can't see that their hip might be out, going, not quite taking them the way they want to. Or they might be looking at the way another player is going to play, but they're missing something. But the coach out here can look on and go, no, hang on. You're missing this, and you're missing this, and you're missing this. And by the way, you're doing that and doing that and doing that, and that's getting in your way. We cannot see those things until they're pointed out to us, and then we can practice and practice and practice and practice relearning what we know. So please, again, this is not your fault. This is not a blame game. Do not make it a worse situation. Losing a friend is already hard. We go through so much loss as it is. So let yourself know this isn't your fault. This isn't a blame, none of that. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take a look at the boundaries. And what the boundaries are some various statements that you're able to take a look at and see, okay, how can I make this more of a neutral situation? So first of all, this works with yourself and it works with others. So the very first thing is you make a positive statement. And it doesn't have to be one you're lying about. No lying. Hey there, Melissa. Good to see you, darling. Big hearts. You guys, please do comment. Let me know that you're here. Hey there, Jacqueline. How are you? They're jerks because of jealousy. Yeah, that is another reason why somebody could be behaving like a jerk, because they're feeling jealous. And what does jealous mean? Jealous means they're feeling hurt because they have a belief running in their head that they can't have what they see out there. They believe that they can't have that. And so they're feeling jealous. They're making themselves feel hurt because they think they can't attain that. They think maybe they're not smart enough or not good looking enough or not educated. I already said the smart enough. People think they're not tall enough, not smart, like not young looking enough, not old enough, whatever. They're not enough. And so that not enough is going on. And that's what creates jealousy. It's not even the other person, right? So the other person could have all these things going on, but it's not even about that, because we could be like, oh, that's so cool that they have that. I definitely want that. Let me learn from them how to get that. How did they get that? So we could do the exact same thing minus the jealousy. But we have this experience and this belief that we've got to stand in that jealousy and that pain and belief that we're not going to get it. And that hurts. And that's not healthy at all. So that would actually be something to pay attention to. If jealous is coming up, it's like, why is jealous coming up? What's going on there? And so that's actually a very good point. I'm doing good, Jacqueline. Thank you for asking. It's always a good day when I come on here with you guys. But I also have been doing good this week. I've been working with a lot of clients, helping them through different things. And that always makes me feel so good and so accomplished and so on my purpose. So I'm loving that. And I'm trying to get the word out more. So I've been sharing with practitioners, different holistic practitioners and some different attorneys and different people who really would want to help their clients in this regard. So like they see that they're really stressed out or really stuck or, wanting to move forward, but still finding a repeat pattern of something they can't get out of. And so I've been really getting the word out. So yeah, if you guys want to help me get the word out, I appreciate it. And I know with Jackie, you guys are going to be doing a testimonial with me soon. So I'm excited about that. That'll be, what day is it? That's next Friday. Yes, the Friday of the July 4th. Yeah. So I'm excited about that. And Peter gave me a testimonial on Facebook too, through written. And we were also talking about doing a video one too. So I'm just excited for you guys, just helping me get the word out, helping people to see that they can change their lives. They do not have to live stuck in anxiety, stuck in stress, stuck in not being able to communicate in their relationships, stuck in not taking care of their health or their well-being, stuck in not trusting a spouse or their kids, and a kid who's not trusting themselves and misbehaving. And you guys are helping me get that word out, and I really want to acknowledge you for that. So thank you so much for that. And you're helping invite more people to the Freedom from Negative Thinking group. So that's growing. We're just getting the word out and helping people to feel, that freedom in their life that they deserve. Why not? Everybody should have that. So I'm just excited. I feel like as I'm stepping out of my fears, so are you guys. And I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of you. And I feel like this is such a great promise that we can give the world and give people, help their hearts to feel free, their minds to feel free. So yay. So thank you for asking. And I love the questions that you're getting me. This was actually a very good topic. I appreciate it so much from you guys. All right, so we're going to jump back on it. Boundary statements. So you're starting with a positive statement. Hey there, Marcus. So good to see you. Hi, Julie. Oh, everybody's popping on. It's so good to see you guys. Marcus, I know I owe you a call. Things have been really busy. But definitely, you know what? Text me again what your schedule looks like. And we're going to get on a call with you. We'll text and we'll get a good time.
It just helps to remind me. So if you don't hear from me, just, remind me. That's okay. Good morning, Peter. Look, everybody's jumping on. This is so fun. Hey, Maria. Good morning, beautiful. Big hearts, you guys. This is hearts, hearts, hearts. Thump, 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 thump. So as far as allowing yourself to take a look, when you set that positive statement, so if it's with yourself, if you're telling yourself negative things like, I can't believe this, I feel so stupid, I thought this was a good friend and they're not a good friend, I thought they were there for me and they're not there for me, just allow yourself to notice, write those things down first of all. And then notice, how does it make you feel? So in your mind, there's this belief that thinking those things and saying those things is somehow helping you. But when you help yourself to take a look at the consequences of saying those things to yourself, you'll begin to notice that it's tearing down your confidence. It's tearing down your abilities. Peter says, I can tell you that today is special. Oh, yay, good. Well, maybe you could tell me what is special about today. You can post it here or you can shoot me a text. But, each day is also special because we have made it through. So many folks are passing away, and I know that's just a normal part of our life, but it's good for us to keep in mind every day is a blessing. Peter says, excellent idea for helping people who need help with clients. I have told many people that going through a divorce that attorneys are not going to be their emotional guide. They are business people, so I would think they could refer them to you. Absolutely. Yeah, that's 100%. And sometimes when I've had attorneys refer clients to me, they feel like they're able to get through to their clients easier and the clients are more receptive. Because what happens is when we're in our mind, thinking all these thoughts of things like, I got to turn on my mind of my clients that I've worked with. I can't trust this person. They probably have cheated on me, or maybe they even have and you know it. Or, I'm so sad. I've wasted my whole life. This person promised me these things. And it's just thoughts of devastation, thoughts of pain, thoughts of hurt. And just like this situation today with having a friend that it's just not going to work. That's just like a divorce, right? It's this person that you thought was going to be your best friend your whole life till the day you died. You promised and they promised, right? And so when we're in those thoughts, just even saying them out loud, it hurts. Now, it doesn't take away that it's true, right? It's okay that we allow ourselves to stand in the truth. So a positive statement in that could be to yourself. It is true that we made this promise to each other. It is true that we really meant it at the time. And it is true that this hurts so much. And you can allow yourself to feel where that feels. For me, when I connect to that, it would be in my throat, it would be in my chest. I feel pressure kind of going up through my sinuses where I feel like as if I would want to cry. So allow yourself to notice. You may even notice there's tension in your shoulders, your back, your body. Notice those things. And then let yourself notice how you can change that, right? Allow yourself for a moment without focusing on the loss. Focus on the beautiful experiences. Now, sometimes that's a little tough if it's not a happy ending, if it's a really tumultuous ending, or it's been a terrible experience, then just allow yourself to look at what's the blessing that you've gotten out of that experience, right? So the blessing that says, I've learned so much and I know who I don't want to be with in the future. I know what's important to me now and I know what I'm going to be looking for, right? So whatever the blessing is out of that experience, if you have children, I'm so blessed that I have these beautiful children. I'm so blessed that I've learned all these things. I'm so blessed that we did, I did have this opportunity to grow and learn and thrive even in this toughest times. Now, if it's a really great relationship, then it can be, I'm so glad that we're keeping God in the forefront and keeping us together and connected. I'm so glad that we're not taking it out on the children. I'm so glad that we're able to stay in communication. I'm glad that we're not fighting over money or, like look at the things that work. And it shifts you from the things that aren't working. And you'll begin to notice the stress changes in your body. you'll begin to notice that you're retraining your mind's focus from going down this path of devastation and despair to going down this path of blessing and gratitude. And then also, what I do with my clients is looking into the future. So when we're looking back into the past and it's painful, it's important to do things to help clean that up. Now that's a whole other, that's like a one-on-one session, so that you would let me know you're interested in and we can work on that together. And you can reach me through my contacts, right? My information's over here. My number 954-657-3407. You can text me, you can call anytime. You can also personal message me here on Facebook. And any social medias that you find this on, Instagram, YouTube, just connect with me. If you don't hear from me, know that I want to reach out to you. Just know that I might be busy. So hit me up on my text message. That's always the best way, or phone call. And it's important to clean that stuff up. I like to use the analogy when you have a puppy, right? You clean up their mess and their piddle, and then everything smells better and it's clean, no germs, great. But what if instead you just got clean newspaper and put it down over top of it? It looks clean, looks fresh, but it's going to start smelling and it's going to start festering and it's going to start feeling unhealthy. And it's just like yuck. And now as you go to clean it up, it's going to take a lot more work. The same thing works with things that we believe we've gotten over and gotten through. And I use quotes because we say that like it's this terrible thing that we, have to plug through. And if we just realized it's part of our emotions, and God gave us our emotions for a reason. They're here to help you and they're here to guide you. So the positive experiences with yourself, those are the positive statements. It's okay. I've got this, I'm moving forward, I'm changing my life. It's okay if this friend isn't going to be in my life anymore. They've been this, they've taught me this, and now I've learned this. And so it helps you look forward into the future, into the goals. Now, if you're taking the past with you and going, I can't trust anybody, right? Now the future is filled up with the same negative training, the same negative hypnosis that you have had over here, that you created into your present and taking it into your future. That's why that has to get cleaned up. You can't function over it. You can't function through it. You can't get, I'm fine. You can't fake it till you make it, until you find something that's going to help you clean that up, right? The concept of faking it till you make it is practice, practice, practice until you get better, not fake it and keep faking it, right? Like, oh, I have this skill. No, I don't have this skill, but I'm going to keep faking like I have this skill. I have this skill. If you don't get the skill in the process, you're always faking it. People have misunderstood that concept. So it allows you to really see, oh, okay, I can see now these wonderful, beautiful statements that I can have for myself, as well as for somebody else, right? If somebody's not a good friend or a good partner, is it because they're a terrible person, and is it because they intentionally want to hurt you? The answer almost 100% of the time is no. The answer is they got their own things messed up. They've got their own beliefs messed up. And so what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to realize if they could have been a good friend or a good partner, they would have. If they could have had connection and love and peace and goodness, they would have. They just didn't know how, or they had whatever their own drama that they couldn't work through that had them stuck. So step number 2 in setting the boundaries is you're going to tell them or tell yourself what it is that you've said or done that's the problem, not attacking the person, not something like, you're such an a-hole. I'm so sick of it. You never give me what I need. Okay, now I'm insulted. Now I feel like I'm not good enough. And now no matter what I've done is not going to be good enough because I don't know what the heck you want anyway. That's what happens a lot. When people say men and women don't understand each other, it's because the communication is missing, the clarity is missing. So in that statement, what you get to say to that person is something like this, and I'll use some examples from various clients of mine and your statements. When you're rude, your tone is really harsh. Your volume is really loud. You're flailing your arms. You're getting up in my face. You're puffing up your chest. So it's helping that other person to realize you don't just say rude. You help them to see what they're doing. So you clarify. Now, in your mind, you might be saying, yeah, but they should know. Maybe. But until you tell them and make sure they hear you back, you don't know. And so if you are saying those things, but the other person isn't listening because they're so defensive and they're thinking, oh my gosh, this person, they are blaming me for everything. It's always my fault. And they're in their stuff. You can't hear anybody with that, right? Like your mind's going, and the other person's over here and all you just see is their mouth moving. So that's when you got to slow down. That's where that positive statement comes from. Something that could also be, not just a statement that says, I know that we've gotten a lot out of this relationship. I know that we're trying the best that we can. I know we're doing a great job not bringing the kids into it. Those are great positive statements, but another positive statement could be right into that person. If you see them reacting, see what they need. If somebody's reacting angry, they feel like you're being unjust and unfair. So let's address that. Hey, how do you feel like I'm being unfair to you? I don't think that I am, but let's take a look. That stops everything in that moment. And it allows them to stop this and go, oh, well, I think this and I feel this. Or you always, and then you could hear what they're doing. That's anger. Okay. So I hear that you're getting angry at me, but what is it you're saying I'm always doing? Well, you're always doing this and you never listen to me. Okay. So what am I not hearing? So it helps you again to, instead of reacting back, nobody, that's annoying just hearing myself. It allows you to connect and see what the issue is. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to stop the friendship from breaking up, but it just helps you to get on the same page. And so then you share with them what you hear them saying and doing. That's a problem. You may even share with them, oh, you know what? I see that when I say this and when I do this, that creates part of the problem, right? So step number 1, positive statement. Step number 2, telling them what they said or did. That's the issue, and being clear. Step number 3 is sharing what you think and what you feel, right? Like I just did. And then step number 4 is asking for what you need clearly. Not, well, I need you to listen. You never listen. I hate that statement. I hate it so much. If you can tell, I've heard it myself. So if somebody's in conversation with you, they're doing their best to listen. They don't know how to hear you any differently. And so the way to help them listen differently is for you to both practice what I'm sharing with you. If you're practicing letting each other know what you need, letting each other know what you hear, then you're getting some feedback from the other. You're getting some reaction from the other. So for example, if I think somebody is never hearing me, Peter says, a friend of mine that I visited in Puerto Rico this last week, his brother is having open heart surgery. I sent him a message that would be mindful of today. Oh, that's wonderful. So that's great. So this even could be an example. So speaking to a friend kindly, letting that friend know that you care about them. So to the friend, I really care about you. I appreciate our friendship. I appreciate what we've had up until now. And so the first example that came was about a friend who is there off and on. They don't answer the phone. They're not calling. It always is one-sided. So we say those things, but we could say them in a positive way without being hurtful. You never call. It's always me, right? You're so thoughtless. I really would love to hear from you more. Now you just shared with them. It could also be, I really would love for us to connect. Maybe I call you one week, you call me the next week. So now you're planting ideas, right? So I'm actually combining the 4 statements as I go. So I'll explain to you how. I really appreciate our friendship. Positive statement. When you say or do blank. Now I'm inadvertently saying I don't hear from you, but what I'm doing is sharing what I think and feel. I miss you. I'd love to hear from you more. Right? So that covers that one. And I've also covered what I think and what I feel and what I need. So it's important to cover each of these, and it doesn't have to be sentence by sentence as I did it, but it can be. So when you don't call, I feel sad. I think maybe you don't want to be friends. I need to know what you're thinking. I need to know where you're at in our friendship. Right? So it could be just as clear that way too. So another example, so somebody was sharing with me about her sister. And so she was saying, they have issues all the time. So she was saying that she's got issues already, but now that her husband's passed, she can't handle those same issues. They're just too much. So positive statement, I really care about you. Now they're often in turmoil, but they do care about each other. They do love each other in their way. So I do really care about you. I do really love you. Or it could be something like, hey, I want to connect with you for a sec. Or I'm so glad that you called. Or in this case, I appreciate where you're coming from. Because if they're caring, even if they're being annoying about it. So there's a way to say a positive statement without lying to yourself or lying to them. And then, by the way, don't forget, if you need help with this stuff, that's what I'm here for. It's helping yourself to see where your mind is and how you can shift it. It's just some limiting beliefs that you have about how it has to look, how it has to sound. And so it changes it up. And then positive, or number 2, what they say or do. So positive statement. I appreciate where you're going with this. I appreciate that you care about me. I appreciate whatever that is. But when you're saying it with that tone, and when you're, and whatever exactly words they said or what specifically is instigating you, I feel frustrated, or I feel angry, or I feel sad, or I feel whatever the feeling is. I feel inadequate because I'm not sure how to respond. I feel overwhelmed with having lost my husband right now. I need you to know we can talk about that later, just not today. It's too much. Or whatever is going on. So those 4 statements help you to have a plan of action, help you to see that communicating with anyone is doable. And again, because you're used to doing it the way you're used to doing it, the 2 of you have think about it like you've picked the role you're going to play. So I have a particular role of I don't like conflict. I have a particular role of I might not say what I'm thinking all the time because I don't want problems. And that's the role of the person that I picked. Now, you might pick the role of instigating, or you might pick the role of being mad all the time, or whatever it is, you'll just notice. And you might think, that's my personality. We can change those things. It's just we've picked a role, we've picked a pattern, we've picked this behavior that can be changed. It's just the way we think, right? We think this is how it's supposed to be. This is the way it's always been. This is how they're going to react, and this is how I'm going to react, and then we just do it. So it's almost like theater, right? Like psychodrama. My friend Pamela, I've learned a lot of that from her, which is you're putting all of your emotions and all your thoughts into how it's going to look. And if you allowed yourself to realize it can look various ways, and it could look way better and way more filled with ease, then it can. And so that's where I go into the red flags, green flags activity. So now we already talked about the boundaries. Now, oftentimes, if we've grown up a certain way, like I was telling you, we could be blind to things. We don't know that we don't know them. They're outside our vision. We just don't know that. We can't see them. We don't know they're even there. I don't know what's over here, right? Let's say I walk into a room and I walk in like this. I don't know what's over here. I don't know what's over here. I might have seen some things, but if my head's down, I don't know what's up there either. There could be spiders above my head. No idea. If I didn't really look around me, there could be snakes. Well, I would see snakes on the floor. But let's say I'm really focused and I came in really quick. I don't see those things. That's how we do life. We focus on what we're focusing on. There's stuff that we don't see, and we've gotten used to practicing not seeing it. I've had many, many, many clients, including myself, by the way, that there were so many things I couldn't see because I grew up turning it off. I can't see that. It's too painful to deal with. So I didn't. And so what I had to learn, which is what I'm sharing with you, is starting now to turn and look and go, oh, well, I missed that. I didn't see that. Oh my gosh. I kept choosing the same kind of person. I kept repeating the same kind of problem because I was missing the red flags activity. So I'd like for you to take a piece of paper, fold it in half, and on one side, the left side, write red flags. These are the things I don't like about my past relationships, whether they're people you've dated, whether they're friends that you've had, whether parents, whether children, doesn't matter. Any relationship that you've had, including the relationship with yourself. So write down any things that you don't like about those relationships, things that happened, that what people said, how you felt, and you might notice it's a couple pages, no big deal. What I'd like you to do is, as you're thinking about it, just jot it down and keep that maybe in a notebook so it's easy to be found, or in your notes in your phone, and just keep coming back to it as new thoughts come up. So it doesn't have to be you have to sit down forever and write it down. They'll come up as you're allowing your mind to be open to it. And as you start to jot them down, you become more and more aware of more and more things. Because in the past, you're like, well, I know this stuff already. But as you're writing it down and you say to yourself, well, if I was allowing this and that had me feel like that, well, you know what? That had me feel like that too. And it actually had me allow this. It had me allow that and this. Whoa, there's a lot more than I realized, because you're getting it out of your head. When it's in front of you and out of your head, now you can kind of compartmentalize things, you can digest things, you can categorize and kind of take it down and see what emotions were into this and what you allowed there. And it opens up. You're mapping, you're creating a mind map. That can't happen when it's just in your mind. So practice that, and it will give you that opportunity to see what's going on and getting clearer on those red flags. Now, again, sometimes there's stuff that we can't see, and this list doesn't help us get to. That's what I'm here for. That's why I work with people. I'm a totally non-judgmental space that allows you to take a look at these things, and at the same time, I'm looking at what you're missing. And there's tons and tons and tons of stuff you're going to be missing because you can't see it, and that's okay. And I'm able to see it because of all of my life experience and all of my personal development and all of my training and all of my clients that I've worked with. There's this consistent pattern of things that the mind thinks and does. And so for somebody who's been doing it all this time, I can see it and I can break it down. And there's still things I'm learning. So with every client, I'm learning something new, just in different directions. So you can't see all that stuff yet, and it's okay. Don't make yourself feel bad. Don't judge yourself, whatnot, right? There's stuff that you're good at that I'm not, because that's what you're trained for. Hello. That's just the way it is. And I don't want your job, right? I love my job. I love my business. I love everything that I'm doing. So it's okay that I'm good at what I do and that I can help you with that. And it's perfectly fine that you're not, right? It's okay that we don't know how the car runs unless you're a mechanic. I know the button to push. I know the gas pedal. I know the maintenance I need to do. And I've got a beautiful husband, thank God, who helps me take a look at it. But when I didn't, I took it to Goodyear and I did all the car stuff and I took it to the deal. Like, I did what I needed to do for the people who knew what to do. The same thing works for this. So it's unfair for you to tell yourself, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. That means I'm stupid. That means I can't do it by myself. I can do life on my own, all these things. Or I can't afford it. I got to do this and I got to do that, and everybody else first. And kick all that to the curb, yo. This is your life. This is your experience. It's what you're here for. Let yourself take care of you. Let yourself grow to your potential so you'll blow your mind on who you're actually going to be in this life, right? If you've ever hit your potential on anything, it feels amazing. This will help you begin to hit your potential in so many ways, because the limits that you have, the things you can't see, you are now going to see. And initially, you might try to do things the old way. This happens with every single one of my clients. Initially, when we put something in front of you, you're going to go, oh, I can't believe I do that. Oh, right? That's just stupid. No, we're not doing that. Instead, we're going to take a look at it. We're going to help to make the changes needed. We're going to help shift it out of the way. It's not even a thing. It just dissipates into the background as something that used to be. It's just something that's part of a learning process and part of your journey. So I hope these things are helping you. Begin to practice them. Try them out. Let me know how they're working. And this helps you as you're setting boundaries. This helps you moving forward. And this is the goal. This is why you're doing this stuff. Not just to clean stuff up, which is great. Not just to help a current friendship, which is great, or to kind of end it on a good way or clean yourself out of that so you don't have that old resentment, old pain, old anger, old eating away at you, destroying your fabric of your core, of your spirit. You're shifting it all, being free of it. And again, if you don't know how to do that stuff, reach out to me. Shifting it into looking into the future, right? That is my main goal, is helping you focus on your goals, helping you on your future. So you are taking things on in a new way, with a new way of being, with a new experience, with a new understanding, with a whoa, this is so cool. You deserve that. Yeah. I'm so excited for you guys. I love this so much. I love watching you grow. I love hearing your stories. I love that you're sharing them with others and inviting them to this space. So let me know what questions you have. Let me know how this is working for you. If you've been doing this with me, and some of you have been, share how setting boundaries has been helping you. A lot of times people think setting boundaries means now the other person's going to think I'm an a-hole. And that's why my setting boundaries is actually called How to Set Boundaries Without Being an A-hole. And also being able to let that other person own their stuff. Hey, if you feel like I'm being an a-hole, that's your feeling. But you and I both know I'm addressing this properly. You and I both know this is the right way. And that's okay. If you want to be angry, that's your feelings. And when you're done feeling angry, we can talk about it again. It helps you to feel safe with emotions, helps them to feel safe with emotions. And initially, they're going to be wondering, who the heck is this person standing in front of me who's never done this before, who I've always been able to play my role, to play my part the way I've played it. What are they doing? No, this isn't how this is supposed to go. I'm the one who does this, and they're the one who does that. So that might happen at first. Or you might be totally shocked and watch them be somebody you've never seen before, because you are now opening up that space for them to be somebody that they've never been. And why not? You both deserve that. So do share your story, share how it's helped, share specifically so other people can see how it can apply in their life. Your story could be their answer. Peter says, Tammy, you have helped Dale and myself with so much of this process. I like hearing this and it refreshes me. Yeah. In what we've accomplished. We still look forward to doing our sessions with you as we keep moving forward. Oh. So I'm just letting that sink in. And thank you. And I'm so proud of you guys. And when I'm working with my clients, and Peter knows this and Dale knows this, I remind them that I've seen so many situations, both growing up, staying in foster care, all the foster kids that I knew, working with foster care. I've seen so many, hundreds upon hundreds of situations where parents did not do the work to step up. And in their own belief, it was because they couldn't, it was because they were doing their best. It was for whatever reason. But the children, the results, just painful. So when we're stuck in our beliefs that we can't change, or we have to do it on our own or ourselves, or not even knowing we need it, not even thinking that we're the problem, instead blaming the kids, or blaming the spouse, or blaming everybody, blaming life, blaming politics, blaming Trump, blaming color, blaming you name it. We might feel like we're right, but the results and the people it impacts and the pain that's left and the pain that that person is also experiencing, and people thinking they can't get out of that. When I'm working with my clients like you, Peter, you remind me the parents can. You remind me that individuals can, and you remind me that when people stop and do the work, when people stop and begin to change their thinking, it changes how they're feeling. It changes how they're reacting. It changes all the dynamics in their entire life. It changes how they're able to respond to their children. It changes how they're able to respond to their parents. It changes how they're able to respond to their exes. It's bringing peace, literally, to hearts, to minds, to spirits, to beings. It's allowing that pain and that anguish, that tightness, that sickness that's eating away at bodies and minds and hearts and families. It allows it to release. And so when I hear your words, I hear that. I hear the results. I hear everything that's coming from this work. And I pray for it for everyone. I pray for it for everyone to understand that they are practicing their own self-hypnosis, their own programming, their own mindset programming. And until they learn how and practice it, you gotta have practice. Because you can learn something once, but you'll go back because it's comfortable in what you know. But you gotta practice and stay out of it. And practicing. And sometimes it takes a long while, but it doesn't take decades like living in it does. And sometimes just talking about it does, and complaining about it does, and not really finding the right answers, not really finding the solutions, not really finding how to retrain. And so when you are mentioning these things, Peter, it rings all of that. It resonates all of that into my mind and my body and my being. So thank you for that. Peter says, teaching friends and family on how to be good friends and family. Yeah, perfect advice and counsel. It works. It totally does. It totally does. So thank you so much for sharing, Peter. It really is making a difference for people. It's definitely making a difference for me. It's helping to remind me that it's possible. You know, growing up as a kid, watching my family, I knew it was impossible for them to change. And now I knew I was wrong. Because now I can see that they could have, they just didn't know how. They didn't have somebody with this kind of information in their life. But we can get it out there. And there will still be people who cannot change because they believe they can't and they refuse to, for whatever reason. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. Those are usually the big ones. Or I've got to give to other people, or I've got my job, or I've got to pay for this, or I've got to pay for that, or I've got to. But they'll find if they look, they've put money into all these things. It's not helped their life. It's not helped their growth. It's not helped them to reach their potential more. They've got to do the right work that's needed to get them right where they need to. So I realize now that it's okay, right? We have our choice. So it's okay if there's people who don't want this work. Don't force feed it to anybody. But you can continue to share. You can continue to drip information. You can continue to, hey, let them know the book that I share. I'm organizing. When I'm organizing, everything's messy. The book that I share with you guys, The Secret Language of Feelings, I think I have it on the kitchen table. You can share that information with people. Just get them started. You can bring them to the Freedom from Negative Thinking Facebook group. It's free. You can bring them to my personal page. It's free. You can send them some of the posts that I put up. It's free. So people can see that it's not about money. This is about owning their value and owning their worth. I had to save up when I did this work. I've had to save up when I've done all of my work. And I've always had the thought of I can't, and I've always had the thought of I can't afford it and it's too much. And I kept going until I figured it out. And there really wasn't a lot of people for me to ask for help financially. So it wasn't like I people, oh, you got help. You have a great job. I had to work. I had to make it happen. I had to get my education. I had to get my training. I had to, so it didn't just come, right? My family was poor and I was poor, and, my life, I'm still working on things. It's a mindset. It's a training, right? When you grow up traumatized, coming out of it is work. Some people can shift out quickly and others can't. And I'm one of those who can't. It takes me work every single day. It takes me stepping out of not good enough, don't have enough every single day. And I'm always transparent with you guys. And so I share with you that so you understand this isn't magic, it's on purpose. And when it's on purpose, you can choose to step out of it quicker and quicker and quicker until it's just like that, right? Just. And then for some people, they don't even have to do it on conscious level anymore. It becomes subconscious, automatic, just like driving a car or eating now. You don't put it in your ear anymore like you did when you were a kid. Oh, that sounded like a little Scooby laugh. So anyways, those are my points to you. That's the information I want to share with you. And just kind of summarizing, you can set those boundaries. You can do them with yourself if your friend's no longer in your life. You can clean up that space. You got to clean it up. Don't just put the newspaper on it. And just like Peter was saying, as you're practicing these kinds of things, it will change your life. It will change your relationships. It will help you to communicate. It will help you see things in a brand new way. It'll help you see and experience you in a brand new way. It will help you be able to talk about the things that you're not good at in a brand new way. So then you get better at it until you are good at it. It's being able to say, hey, this is what's working and this is what's not working. And let's work on what's not working without getting defensive and angry or feeling inadequate and not good enough and getting depressed. So it's like, yeah, oh my gosh, I can see that. I can feel that. I can do that now into my future and into the rest of my life. Bam. And this works for everything. This works for taking on how you're taking care of your relationships, how you're taking care of your body, how you're handling food, how you're handling money, how you're handling your business. Because it's all around the mind and the belief. If you believe a particular way, it'll show up in everything, how you do things. Now you might be like, whoa, my business is great, but everything else sucks. Or you might say, everything's great, but my business sucks. It shows up somewhere. And sometimes you're so busy and focused, you don't see it anywhere at all. And then it just goes boom. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I feel like the world just collapsed in on my brain. Well, that's because it's always been there. But because it got so heavy, it finally forced you to see. So again, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just about handling these situations, handling the beliefs the way you have them, handling the barriers and the obstacles. And we can do them in a variety of ways. And so that way it helps you break through. It helps you break through quickly. It helps you to break through, and it doesn't have to take your lifetime. Now, I'm always here. And just like Peter said, I'm always available for maintenance sessions because life is going to bring you new things and new, like, bam in your face. And it's like, whoa, and it shuts you down and it wants you to go back to the way you used to do it. And it's like, no, 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 I need to keep practicing. I need to keep getting out back to the way I was doing it, but I'm stuck. And that's when you need that's someone who can look from out here to help you. Oh yeah, okay. All right. All right, got it. I've got these new tools. I've got them in a new way. Cool. All right, I'm back on track. That's all it is. That's all it is. All right. So I thank you so much for being here. I thank you for sharing your time. Your time is your treasure. And it's the most valuable. So thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you for sharing your input with me. I love it. I feel so good and excited to hear from you guys because it reminds me that you are doing it. You are making it happen. You are being here. You are being brave. You are helping the world to know that if they make the changes, if they do the work, if they support each other like you guys are doing here on these pages, anything's possible. And we're changing the world one heart at a time, one thought at a time, one experience at a time. So continue to be on here for each other. Continue to post your thoughts. If there's anything that you want to offer, then let me know. And like on days when you guys let me know you have things to offer, then we have a Friday where I post and I say, okay, share with me what's going on. And you guys can post in your offers on that thread so it doesn't kind of get crazy all over the page. I want you to be able to know that you can support each other and that care is here, that you can come and look for that. Not just from me, but from each other, like you're doing today and like you have been. And I acknowledge you for that. You guys are just like my squishies. All right, everybody, bring it in. Big squishy hugs. I love you guys so much. Share this love, share this care into yourselves and out into the world. Continue to bring people to the Freedom from Negative Thinking group. And hey, I'm TikTok now. Woo! So you can find me, Coach Tammy Star. sparks hope on TikTok. All right, you guys, you take care of yourselves and ciao for now.